but they showed this at Gamescom, and it's a show, but it's dope. And it's from the creators of Love, Death, and Robots. And it is essentially an anthology series that will adapt a bunch of different game franchises each episode. Um, and the
Yes.
games featured in the first season will be Armored Core, Concord, which is a weird one we'll talk about later, Crossfire, Dungeons and Dragons, Exodus, Honor of Kings, Mega Man, New World, Eternum, Pac Man, PlayStation, just to highlight highlighting various PlayStation studios and titles. Sifu, Spelunky, The Outer Worlds, Unreal Tournament, and Warhammer 40K, which was like the very first thing they showed in the trailer. Because have you ever
Hmm.
seen the Astartes animated short on YouTube from
I don't think I
a
have.
Warhammer? Just like it was a fan made thing that was
Hmm.
eventually bought by
Oh,
I forget the name of the company that owns Warhammer. It was bought by them, and like then taken off of YouTube and put onto their website.
oh,
Like that's how good it was.
wow.
And this episode, it looks like it's very reminiscent of Astartes, which is you
Yes.
should watch it. It's just a bunch of space marines killing aliens. Well, actually, I think it's space
Love to
marines
see it.
fighting other space marines. It's really cool.
Yeah, that sounds more in line with what I know about Warhammer.
With the Armor Core episode, we learned that there was a shot of Keanu Reeves in it that people thought, oh, it was
Oh,
a Cyberpunk episode. No, that's the Armor Core episode.
hmm.
Where he's gonna be in a mech for some reason. We'll see how that goes.
Interesting.
You have the PlayStation episode, which like will highlight multiple different games and franchise, and we see Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima in the trailer, but we also see Kratos. But in the background, he's in a modern city, so people assume it's gonna
Mm.
be like some PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale type stuff, which would be cool, and it'd be cool if that resulted in a new game because I think that game could work. Okay, PlayStation has
Yes.
so
No,
many
for sure.
great characters. If they made a fighting game like Smash Bros. Again, it would be good because I have PlayStation All Star Battle Royales on my PlayStation 3. It's not a bad game.
Yeah.
They could easily bring this franchise back and do well, but I digress. But separate from that is Concord, which is the game I was just talking about. Which I talked
Hmm.
about before how they're trying to do like this very Guardians of the Galaxy inspired story within the world, and there's gonna be an episode on Concord, and I know a lot of people are gonna hate on it, but it will probably actually be good because the characters they're basic, but they're fun enough, and with some good
Right.
animation, it could be good. Like I said, animation, just you make something animated, a mediocre story can still be fun. Um,
It hard carries.
of course, we got Dungeons and Dragons, which is that makes sense.
Right.
Crossfire is a weird one because Crossfire is like a like it's just like a shooter. Like I would
Yeah.
understand Call of Duty because Call of Duty's they all have like story modes, but like Crossfire, that's a weird
Right.
one. Spelunky's interesting. I don't know if we.
I was gonna say Spelunky. I think is the weirdest one to me because it's like how.
I mean, that sounds fun to me. It's gonna be a person going through caves. Outer Worlds
Yeah,
is
it's definitely gonna be
is
fun. It's just like
yeah.
interesting choice.
Outer Worlds is gonna be a fun one. Um,
Hmm.
Unreal Tournament as well for people who don't know. Unreal Tournament is the game that resulted in the engine.
Right.
The engine was used to make Unreal Tournament, and then they named the engine after the game, or they named the engine after the game as they were making it. And that's that was made by Epic. Um, and yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one. I've only ever really heard about Unreal Tournament. I haven't seen much gameplay of it, honestly.
Yeah, me
So I
neither.
don't know too much about Unreal. Sifu, I'm so excited for that episode. I played Sifu. Sifu was great, and the art style of Sifu is great, and they're translating it perfectly to the show. And the story of Sifu works perfectly for a show because it's it's a rogue light, which I've come
Ah.
to accept and respect the term light versus like because light
Hmm.
refers to something that's adjacent but not the like exactly
The exact
a
same.
part of that genre versus like
Yeah.
meaning like it's almost meant to be the same type of game. It's a rogue light in a sense that they say it's not, but it is. In a, you die, you start from the beginning again. You get some permanent upgrades. Like it is 100% a rogue light as much as they pretend
Right.
otherwise. But it's not exactly a rogue like. That's the distinction between the two that I've started to accept. Which I used to not like it and be like they're the same thing, but it's a little different.
Yeah.
But like yeah, that story because of the way that it works just would work great for like a 30-minute episode of animation.
For sure.
And the one that I was most excited for was Mega Man. Jumped
Yeah.
I literally jumped out of my seat when I saw Mega Man. I was like, is that Mega Man? And then I jumped up and I was like, I can't believe it. I want a Mega Man movie so bad. I
for sure.
need
The
a
last,
Mega Man animated movie or show, or well, actually both. I need a movie that then results in a show, like they did with
right?
the Ninja Turtles.
Because the last Mega Man animated project we had was garbage in the '90s, and I wish that they would give him a chance to redeem
Yeah,
himself.
I also grew up
Because it's like Mega
watching.
Man has so much show potential.
Yeah, I grew up watching the Battle Network anime.
Right.
When I was a kid, I used to think that that was just Mega Man. That like I knew nothing about the original Mega Man. I thought that Battle Network that is what Mega. Well, I knew about the original, but I thought that Battle Network was an adaptation of that and not an adaptation of a whole different franchise
Just like a
within the
spinoff,
Mega Man.
yeah.
Like I didn't know it was an adaptation of a spinoff. I thought that like it was an adaptation of the regular Mega Man, and they just changed the designs, the character designs in Battle Network, right? But yeah, I love Mega Man. I need this. I need this in my life. But also like a big reason Mega Man has so much potential is because it's like it's basically just Astro Boy.
Yeah,
Mega Man is heavily inspired by Astro Boy. Mega Man is just
like
Astro Boy.
straight up,
I
yeah.
think that Mega Man and Astro Boy right now needs to switch places. Where Capcom needs to make an Astro Boy game that's heavily inspired by Mega Man, and then they need to make a Mega Man anime that's heavily inspired by Astro Boy.
Right.
That would be really fun. Um,
It would be. It would be.
but yeah, this could be the Super Smash Brothers video game adaptations. Be real fun, and
Yeah.
hopefully some of these episodes are testing bids for like separate series, like for Mega Man. And their respective companies will see this and do something fun. I could see Capcom giving some of their franchises to them, like but Street Fighter would be dope.
Ooh,
We're
true.
already getting a Devil May Cry anime, so I don't know if I don't necessarily need a Devil May Cry episode. But like Resident Evil, at this point,
Yeah.
like I want live action Resident Evil to work, but they just keep
I
messing
was
it
gonna
up, and
say,
I don't understand
yeah,
why.
definitely so, because
But
like
like,
it would.
just
Oh, go
keep
ahead.
going on with the animated stuff, but make the animated stuff instead of like spin-offs from the stories. Like, just make it just straight up adaptations of the video games,
Right.
because they do a bunch of
It's
animated
like,
Resident Evil movies.
yeah, Resident Evil exists in the public consciousness, like beyond like us gamers and stuff. So it's like it would be fun to see like a Resident Evil actually work, and like it would get more people into the series. It would work twofold.
Yeah, and at this point, they might just have to do animation if
Yeah.
live action is working. Even though I know live action can work, they just for some reason keep making stupid decisions.